What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another episode here at Grizzle Talk Podcast. Got your co-host here at Mike on the mic. Here with
David Alvarez F _ on Instagram. David Alvarez.
man. And before you guys get to the rest of the episode, please give us a like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And we have a special guest here with us today, Raza Golf. Man, how you doing?
What's up, brother? Thank you for having us.
Of course, man.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for coming on, man. So,
Of course.
we've dove into you guys. You're born and raised out of LA, right?
Correct.
You want to tell us a little bit about what you do and maybe drop your name as
Yeah,
well?
no problem. My name is Ruben Cardiel. We're from LA. Parents are from Tijuana. And grew out there, worked 27 years with kids on probation. Loved what I was doing. And as time came by, work just wasn't work anymore. I didn't like the changes. And we already had been golfing for some time. We have a men's club. We'll get into that in a bit. And we found the opportunity that we saw more Latinos golfing. And it's like, you know what? I wear a lot of golf stuff. I wear Nike, Under Armour, Travis Matthew, but none of it represents me, right? And we started seeing more Latinos play. So we're like, this could be a good opportunity for us to jump into the scene and try to create something, because as Latinos, there's a lot of pride. El orgullo, just, we were talking about earlier. Anytime you go you're watching TV, there's a sports game on, whether it's local, whether it's far away, there's some fucking Mexican dude with his flag there, right? It's always going to be present. Yeah. And I think that's the orgullo that a lot of us, Latinos carry, whether you're Mexican, Central American, whatever. There's a lot of the pride for where you come from. So we definitely wanted to jump on that and take advantage of that.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So you guys are a nonprofit organization.
No, we have a couple of things going on, right? A couple of avenues. Number one, we created a men's club for golfers back in 2010. So when I first got into golf, my cousins took me out to play. I didn't really want to do it, but I had just fucked up my knee. Can we cuss here?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I just fucked up my knee, and I was like, what am I going to do? My cousin's like, hey, let's go play golf. It's Father's Day's coming up. Let's go with the Theos and, my dad, have a couple of drinks, whatever. So go for it. Let's go do it. We went out there. We played, had a good time, walked away from it, like, whatever. One of my cousins was like, he sucked too. He was like, you know what? I kicked your ass, cuz. I'm like, fuck you, come back next week. And then we go next week. And there go next week. So we got hooked. Right?
That's that pride.
Yeah, like, fuck you. We both sucked, bro. We probably held everybody up. But we were at it, right? To us, we were it. And as that went on, someone told me that there's these men's clubs at these courses that I should join. So I got excited, and I went to a local golf course, and I'm like, hey, I want to play. Like, how do I do this? The guy at the shop goes, the guy who runs the men's club is back there. Why don't you go talk to him? So I go down there. Older gentleman, white male, maybe late 50s, early 60s. And I'm like, hey, what's up, brother? My name is Ruben. I want to play. I heard about your men's club. What do I do to join? He looked me up and down and says, you know how to play? You have money to golf? Golf's expensive. Do you have your own golf bag? You can't be owing people money here. Mm-hmm. So I felt like shit, right? And I remember walking away from there being like, fuck this sport. It ain't for me anyways, That lasted about 2-3 days. And then I'm like, you know what? Why don't I create my own league? Right? So I started finding some friends that played with me, 5, 6 of us. And we're like, hey, let's start our own fucking league, Only if it's us or what? Like, let's do a trophy. Let's do the stats. Let's do all that. And we started that in 2010. Mm-hmm. And to this day, we have our men's club that has probably over 100 players. And, we have, like, the PGA. We run a whole season like they do. And you don't have
Raza Golf.
Yeah, Raza. So we started the Raza Golf Club Association, right? That's what started, and 80% of our golfers are Latino. We call it Raza Golf. A lot of what we do, but to us, the word Raza means your people. And if you're in California, like we are, your people are every color, right? My friends are Asian, white, black. I have it all. So we don't like to exclude anybody, and that's what we tell people. The word Raza means your people. It doesn't mean your race, as people would think it means, right? It's your people. So, yeah, people join our club sometimes, and they're like, hey, bro, I want to join your club, but my boy, he's Asian, dog. Like, he's a cool dude, though, dog. I'm like, dude, just bring him. It's all good. As long as he's not an asshole, he can handle a little shit talking and whatever. Like, we're good. Oh, yeah, he cuffed. Bring him on.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the way we do it. And we started the RGCA, Raza Golf Club Association. So we were just doing that, for a long time. And then COVID hit. And we started seeing more Latinos golfing. And I'm on the golf course, and we saw some Latinos in front of us playing. And they just, they weren't following the rules. They weren't being, what's the word, appropriate and just the way they carried themselves. They were getting their food, dropping their wrappers on the floor, holding up the game. And one of my friends was like, man, these guys are really holding things up. They're the ones that give us Latinos a bad name, and people don't want us here. And I remember saying to him, like, it's all good. At least there's more of us out here. And I think that's what sparked it for me. Like, you know what? Yeah, there is more of us. Why don't I create something that connects us through golf? Because hopefully this number keeps growing. And during COVID, there's not much you can do, right? What were the rules?
That was an outdoor.
You got to be outdoors, 6 foot apart. There's not much you can do. Golf was right there. So I think that's when the whole jump of golf started popping.
Yeah, that's when my cousin started golfing too during
The COVID golfer was born.
They were always at the golf course.
Yeah. So I think that was the thing that started us. That was the club. But then I started seeing like, hey, like let me jump on this. Let me start a brand that brings us. And we wanted to be also intentional with the name. A lot of people were like, you're going to start a clothing brand and Raza Golf? Like, that shit ain't going to pop, bro. A lot of people aren't going to want to fuck with that. And we're like, so what? It ain't for everybody.
To me, yeah.
Well, because, a lot of Latinos, it would.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it might not. And we wanted to be intentional with it, and we wanted it that way. Like, it's okay. This probably isn't for everybody, but that's okay. There's a lot of other brands out there that can represent everyone. That's cool. This is my niche. This is what we're going to do. It is what it is. This was what made me feel good about what I was doing. So it had to be that way.
Yeah. And it gives that pride to start golfing too. It gives you, I'm Raza. I want to play golf.
It's almost like it gives you the permission.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So we wanted to take advantage of that. And then that's when I told you we started the brand in 2021 and never was a businessman in that sense, but we've learned. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've learned a lot. We've met a lot of great people. We've been successful with different things, and we just been appreciative for the ride we've had the last 3 years and the things that we've learned about our culture. My background, 27 years with kids on probation, and there's so much that I learned there. But I coupled those experiences with what I learned in the golf course and things that I had to deal with growing up as far as racism. And I'm not saying I was going through racial shit every day. It wasn't like that. But it was there. It was there. You would see how people would treat you, and we wanted to kind of blow that up, And now the Latinos on the golf course, we're different, right? We want to be out there. We want to hear our music. We want to bullshit. We want to talk shit, be competitive, have fun. And that's not something that was around in golf for a long time. Mm-hmm. And now that we have more people of color in the sport, that's what's happened.
Yeah.
There's more blacks out there. There's more Latinos than ever before. And I think that's an amazing part of it. But we're just different. Mm-hmm. Where you go to the golf course, a lot of times it's got to be very quiet. Oh, don't talk. Oh, yes, keep it low. And
it's because it's they even hold the silence and everything. I kind of, you talking about that makes me think about, like, the movie you've seen, Happy Gilmore, right?
Yeah.
Where he brought like a whole different side, loud people going out, and
so that's kind of who we are.
Yeah,
we bring that shit, right? We're still respectful. Like, if you're gonna hit the ball, everybody's quiet. Like, you're preparing, you're ready to hit your shot. People will be quiet. The minute you hit it, you fucking suck. You owe me $1. You owe me this. You owe me that. The shit talking will start. And I think that's the part that's different, right? Mm-hmm. And we're out there with our music. People are out there smoking. People are out there drinking, having a great time. And I think that's the part that draws a lot of people to it, because in a lot of ways, it's also an escape from whatever your daily life is, outside of the connections you make, outside of all the other positive things that the sport can bring you.
Yeah.
Now, I can play with my kids, and I say it's a lot, till I'm 60, 70 years old, God willing. Mm-hmm. What other sport can I do that with?
Yeah.
If I tell my boys, hey, you know what? Let's go to the room and talk. Oh, fuck that. What is that? Right? But if I say, hey, let's go golf, all right, cool. And out there, conversations just happen organically.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just hanging out.
And just hanging out, right?
Yeah.
And that's something you can do at a late age. We went golfing with the kids, about 3 months ago, whatever it was. The 5 of us, it was a great time. Mm-hmm. It was a different connection. Competitive, bullshitting.
Oh, yeah.
And
like if you're with your primos and
yeah, right? And
shit.
you're not going to do that with my kids. That's huge. Outside of the power it has with connections, business, networking, getting to know somebody. I used to work with the girls before I left. I used to work with the female population. And I would tell a lot of the girls, look, if you guys are going to date somebody, take them to the golf course. Because you will learn so much about a person 4 or 5 hours. Like people tell you who they are every single day if you pay attention.
Yeah.
If you don't pay attention, you're going to miss it all. But if you pay attention, there's a lot you learn from someone, right? Out on the golf course, when someone's driving you around, are they going to your ball or just focus on their ball? Right?
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
And the patience behind it.
The
It's
patience.
frustrating.
If they fuck up, how are they going to deal with that fuck up? Mm-hmm. Are they the ones that are going to throw their clubs? Are they the ones that are going to be pissed at themselves and just lose their mind? Or is it someone who can have a bad hole or have a bad shot and refocus? That tells you about how they deal with stress. Mm-hmm. And there's so much of that can be learned through golf. Again, if you pay attention.
Yeah.
So we've liked that. So we started the brand in 2021.
When did it start like growing in like? Because you said you guys have basically like the RGCA.
Yeah, that was our men's club. Mm-hmm. I think that picked up maybe 2 years after we had started because we started with 5.
Last year?
Then the next year, no, sorry, this is the club we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
2010. And then those friends knew other friends, and those friends knew other friends. But with our business, the brand, Raza Golf, probably about a year in, we learned a lot the first year, but we made so many connections with people that we started to see the power of the business people that we're meeting. Some of the celebrities that we're connecting with. And it's funny because you start to see people as people. Most of the celebrity people that we've connected with, we haven't ran into too many people who feel like, who the fuck are you? Why are you talking to me? Especially the Latinos are very just laid back.
Mm-hmm. They just want to have a good time.
They want to have a good time, right? Yeah. It's all about respect, obviously. Mm-hmm. But we were amazed of how golf can connect that, right? Where else would you probably be connecting with some celebrity or something like that if he wasn't already your friend? Exactly. Right? Where else would you be connected with other business owners who weren't your friends, but in golf? It's like it levels the playing field. Mm-hmm. So as we did that, we've met a lot of people who started just, hey, I love what you're doing through Instagram. We're like, what is this? I never heard of something like this. This is awesome. Because I think just the intentional vision line that we took was pretty aggressive in that sense. Right? And I think people weren't used to that. Mm-hmm. Like Raza Golf, like what? And I think that's really called a lot of attention. And as we did that, we would go to golf courses to meet support different tournaments, trying to get the word out from our clothing and what we're doing and the movement we have. And we started meeting families, right? Kids who were golfing. And I remember some of the kids that we met were like, hey, Mijo, you play? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty good, blah, blah, blah. We would talk to the parents. Hey, is this kid going to do that? No, we're waiting. That's kind of expensive right now. We're trying to do that. So we saw a need in our community to support these kids. Mm-hmm. So we started trying to do it from our business, but we weren't at the place to like really push behind, right?
Yeah, the financial.
Yeah, so we tried here and there to do a little bit, and we started meeting more and more kids. And we started out talking to my wife, like, hey, like this is something that the kids need, but if we don't support it, how would they move forward? Because, most parents have to both work. They're barely making it. And to put golf on top of that, as expensive as it is, like, you're not going to pay for that. Mm-hmm. Someone told me a while back, like, hey, my kid's going to join a tournament. It's $700. Yeah. Can he join? It's either that or the rent. Yeah. And sometimes I believe that a lot of these programs, junior golf, is intentional about keeping some of our kids out. Not all, right? There's good, there's bad, whatever. But I think a lot of them are because a lot of our kids, our community, don't have the funds. You still got to pay $700-800. You still got to buy the clubs that are $900-1,500. The traveling.
Yeah, on the cheaper end, I was looking at golf clubs
Yeah.
for like $500 for the set, or like $700 for the set.
Yeah.
And that's still expensive.
Yeah.
And then people got to get them like fitted or something.
Especially if
right?
you're playing at that level, you're trying to get better, you want to do all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I say, if this program is trying to help kids golf and really push them forward, why isn't that they're looking at, you know what, parents, how much do you guys make? Oh, I see these are your numbers. You know what, we can help you with 50% of that registration. Oh, we can help you with this. Like, why isn't there ways that they're trying to do to help these kids that are advanced at that point already?
It seems like they want to keep maybe not race wise they want to keep people out, but like financial wise they just want to keep
Of course,
the top on the top.
there's always status, right, that you look at, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be because you're Latino or of color. It might be because your status isn't with us, but a lot of that shit exists.
Yeah.
Right? And we tell people all the time, like, you know, just because you don't see it every day, it doesn't mean it's not there.
And then it's not obvious either. It's like
it's not always obvious.
they do it like it's in different ways how they do it. Like
Yeah. So we started. So we're like, hey, this 2 years ago, let's do a tournament to try to raise some extra funds to help some of these kids. And that's what we did. And that's what we did the tournament. And we said like, hey, let's try to raise some money. And we did. And we were able to help some kids out, right?
that was your guys' first
That
tournament.
was our first tournament.
That was out in
23.
LA?
Yeah, in LA. And it went great. And part of when I did the tournament, I'm like, I've gone to many tournaments. I see how they go. And I'm like, you know, a lot of these tournaments are the same. And everybody's throwing one now. How can we be different? There's this book, I don't know if you guys have read it, called Blue Ocean Strategies. It's an amazing book.
I've heard
Check
it.
it out.
I haven't read it.
Blue Ocean Strategies.
Yeah. And it talks a lot about, there's ways that people do stuff already. That's a red ocean. But there's different ways of doing things that can be new. Right? Instead of doing the outside thinking, people are like, I want to start my business. But all these businesses go this way. So let me go that way. Instead of like, no, I want to do this, but I want to do it my way and it looks different. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to come up with that different strategy. And when we did our tournament, we're like, you know what? This is the first year. We're going to charge, I think, $275. And we're going to have
A player.
Per player. And we're going to have a banda out there. And we're going to do this. And people were like, are you sure? That's a lot of money. It's your first one. Like, think about it. Then you're going to spend it, like, probably $7,000 on a banda? Like, how much money are you really going to make? Like, and it was tough because it was our first one, right? And you doubt yourself sometimes, like, yeah, this shit might not work. They're probably right. What about if this is a fucking fail? And
I listen a lot to Alex Hormozy. There's a quote. He says that they're gonna be right 100% of the time until they're not.
Yeah.
So all it takes is that one time.
Yeah. So we went on. We carried on. We're like, let's do this, right? And we started our way with the tournament. We said, no, we're going to stick with it, $275. Let's get a band out. And my whole thinking behind that is, many people go to tournaments, but they won't return because they didn't feel their value was good. Yeah, I supported your cause, cool, or I did this, but cool. But why would I want to come back? And a lot of people who do tournaments or fundraisers, they don't really think about their clients. They just want to make the money. Mm-hmm. So my head was like, even if I don't make that much, let me put the banda out there. Let me make it to where people might want to come back.
That's a great idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of like, let me just go in there and take all their money, and if it don't happen next year, oh well. No, we're like, let's just do it right. And we did it, and it was a success. We had, golf tournaments considered full at 144 players. We probably had about 170, I think, that year.
70?
170.
170.
So we were over, a little bit, but we felt good about it. We're like, you know what? This went well. And people were like, wow, this was amazing.
That was that first one?
That was our first one. Then the next year, we're like, you know what? Let's do $500. Let's bring the banda back. Let's add a mechanical bull. let's have free cigars for everybody who comes out. The alcohol will be free.
I'm sold
The
already.
food will be free. And let's make this a 16-hour event. And I think the first year we had the free alcohol and some of those things as well. But we added more to it. Who doesn't like a 16-hour event, right? If I'm going to pay
alcohol?
Yeah, the alcohol was included with the ticket.
Oh, so it's not only players that are paying the tickets, it's just to attend the event, or how does that work?
So what we did that year, last year, because we had so many people who wanted in, and we didn't want to not have people, especially because we wanted as many that we could safely have in there.
Like,
obviously,
is there spectators
so what we did is we had spectators, but not on the golf course to where you're on one of the holes and you're just watching, because someone's gonna get fucking killed, right? Not everybody out there is gonna be playing very well, but we had a section where we had the banda, and people will come around like 3-4 times because there's like 4 holes in that area, and we had food. Down where we live, there's a place called El Taconazo. They have fish tacos, amazing. They came out, supported us. They brought their brand new truck out there. They were giving this food away. We had mixed drinks there. We had some businesses setting up there. We had the banda, we had the mechanical bull, and that became like party central.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
And there was people who didn't pay to golf, but they paid to be there. Right? Because we had to charge everyone because everything there is free. And the first year, people were coming that we didn't even know. And because things were free, things moved fast. This last year, we had security at the door. They were checking people's, we had like codes that we had sent out to people. If you don't have your code, you can't get into the course because we saw what happened last year. So we had to turn a lot of people away. But if you were there and you paid your ticket to golf or you paid your ticket as a spectator, you got in. Everything was
taken care
available for you.
Wow.
Right? So I think that was the exciting part that we had. And things went pretty awesome. Our 8 o'clock registration started. We had a concert about 10 a.m. I don't know if you guys have heard of Lighter Shade of Brown.
Yeah.
They performed at our tournament.
Wow.
Right? And we had some other local talent there performing as well. We moved from that. People were having their breakfast, burritos, smoking their cigars, having their drinks. We went to golf. The banda mechanical bull took over. 40, 50 vendors out there. After that was done, we opened up what we called the Puro Patio, where we would offer you another cigar. We had a DJ. You're smoking your cigar, having your drink, listening to music, waiting for everybody to finish off the golf course, and then go eat. Then we went to go eat. Have you guys been to a golf tournament before?
Never. No.
So when you go to a golf tournament after you're done drinking on the course, you go inside to go eat. And most of them expect you to just listen to them, talking about their reason, their why. It's important. But you just had everybody out there for 4 or 5 hours drinking and partying. Now you want them to come here and sit the fuck down and shut up and listen to you. It's very hard.
I bet.
Right?
Everyone's all drunk.
Yeah. So what we do with ours, we bring people in for about 45 minutes. Awards, we talk about thanking, whatever, or why, all those little things. And then we go back outside to a DJ and partying. And that went, I think, to about 11 o'clock last year. And it wasn't this year, sorry. And it was an amazing time. And we feel like we found a formula that fits who we are. And then the connections you make, those are invaluable, right? Earlier we were talking to someone, and it's like, you got to see this thing as an investment. And if you do that, not only are you going to have a great time and enjoy yourself, but you're investing in whatever it is that you're trying to do, because you're going to meet a lot of like-minded people who can help you get to the next stage and whatever you're doing. So we're very proud of that. And then that year, we also did it for the foundation. We gave some money back to the foundation. But now that we have an official nonprofit, so it's not the brand, it's now another lane with the Raza Golf Foundation. We have our board, an amazing board. We are doing a tournament that's more corporate through the foundation. Because this is kind of a party, we don't want to connect it with whatever the foundation's doing, right? We want to make sure that some of our donors, understand what we're doing, and we separate both.
Yeah.
So this tournament that we've done will continue to be part of our brand, and it's connection and it's culture, right? That we try to do through this one. And now our nonprofit will create its own to be more corporate and find different ways to find funding for these kids. So we have RGCA, the men's club. Mm-hmm. Raza Golf is our clothing brand and events and things that we're doing. And then the Raza Golf Foundation, where we're trying to help the new generation of golfers.
That's dope.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like I remember you watched that movie, The Long Game?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It kind of reminds me of that as well, kind of how he was able to help those kids. And I mean, they made their own
their own little spot.
Their own little spot, and I thought that was really dope. So go ahead.
So and I think with the power of that, right? When I see that, and you see so many of us now, Latinos, like I said earlier, first, second, third generation now, that we're a little older, we see things differently, we're in higher positions, there's more money in the Latino community. There's opportunity. And in the world of golf, there's not very much Latinos playing. Right? Why is that? I think a lot of it is the financial piece.
I think it's also about fitting in as well because, like you said, it's like, yeah, we have friends. We'll go play soccer. We'll go, yeah, we like to party. But out on the golf course, yeah, it is a little bit more quiet, a little bit more this. Because
different culture.
I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. Yeah. But I don't even have any friends.
Right.
You know, what are you doing for, or maybe you can talk about like people that are brand new, like me. I'm brand new, right? And you might be intimidated to even go out onto the golf course. Like, do you guys have something for those people? And then another second part to that question is, are you guys only doing these clubs in LA, or do you have plans to expand to other cities?
So we're looking at ways to expand it in all those areas.
Because I would love for something like that to be
good. So it's all about finding the right people and the right connections, because that'll be amazing. We talked earlier about creating these different connections from different city to city, right? You guys have your connections here in Fresno, your people. We have our people in LA, right? Not that you don't know anybody in LA or we don't know people in Fresno, but the power of you start going to LA and you have people. You go to San Diego, you have people. You go to Fresno, you have people. Like, that's the power. That's what golf can connect you with. And that's what we want to take advantage of. Mm-hmm. And we are looking at, so through the foundation, we are looking at ways not only to help the kids who are playing and support them. We also want to introduce golf to kids at a very young age, so they can start seeing that differently. Hopefully 1 year, we start seeing more kids in the PGA, the LPGA. And even that old GoPro, there's a lot of different jobs in the golf industry that we're not open to because, again, we're not learning golf.
Or that we don't even know about.
We don't even know. Mm-hmm. Most of us are playing golf when we get older, and it's like, oh, shit's cool, man. I wish I was playing it 20 years ago. Pero ya que, ya te fregaste, right? It's like too late to take it seriously. But go have fun, right? There's another route to it. And I think that's the part that we want to be able to be aware of. Like, if we want to see change, we got to start change. And through that, we also want to do some community events where we invite people who've never played, come out and have some of the kids that we're helping come show you basics.
That's cool.
Teach them the power of giving back as well, right? Because all it takes is that piece is, I never played, bro. I don't know. Bro, don't even take it seriously. Just come have fun. When you tell somebody come out and play and have fun, it takes all that weight off of you. When you're expected to go out there and fucking be good, like, 90% of the people that I play with, 80% aren't good.
Yeah, it's like you said, you're holding up the people behind you.
I ain't that fucking good. I'm not great.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I see the power of the connection. I know the rules. I know the etiquette. That helps a lot, to keep the game going. But I have a lot of friends who aren't that good either. And I got some who are really good, right?
I just got golf explained to me a different way, maybe like a week or two ago. So golf seems boring, right? But if you think about it, like, there's a big pot of land, right? You're in a cart that you could drive around, and you're getting drunk, and you're hitting a ball, like, with a stick. Like, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's your attitude that you go in there with, right? I'm going to hang out with my boys. We're going to have a good time, listen to music. I'm going to laugh at his ass when he fucks up. Like, that changes it all.
Yeah. Like when I
Right?
think about going out, I'm like, I want to go out, drive the golf carts, drink some beers, smoke some cigars, talk shit with the
What
boys.
was wrong with that?
Yeah, and we're gonna have a good time. It doesn't matter if we know how to play or not, but eventually we will know how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
play.
yeah. And
Right?
you'll play, you have fun. It's like, for example, this is what golf I can relate it to. You guys play, like, pick up basketball and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go and you're playing basketball at the park with your friends or other people, you're playing people who are kind of your talent. You have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to go to the park and play with these semi-pro guys, you're not going to have fun. Like, fuck you, I don't want to play you, bro. Like, who else is around here? Like, give me somebody that I can have fun with. That same thing with golf. There's a lot of people who are going to play just your level. And you have fun because you can be competitive in that space.
Exactly.
You go play with somebody who's a pro, semi-pro, you're done.
Yeah.
You're not going to find it fun. But if you play people who are kind of like you, or maybe they're a little bit better, but the handicap comes in and helps out. We have friends who are pretty good, and they'll tell one of my friends, like, hey, let's play. Let's bet, $50. But you're better than me, dick. All right, I'll give you 12 strokes. I think I got a chance. You know what I mean? And then there goes a bet.
Yeah.
But it takes that to make it happen. And I think that's the part that we want Latinos to be aware of. Like, come have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Once you come out and you have fun and you open yourself to it, you're going to see all the benefits that it can have in your life. Not only the distressing part, right? Cigars, music, you can chill in the car. Sometimes when you're even waiting for your turn, you're chilling, talking to your boy, talking shit, talking about life, talking about business, having your cigar, music, your beer. What's the problem?
It's a great time, yeah.
It's a great time.
Yeah. Most of the time, the carne asada, we're asando carne, sitting in a circle like this, drinking beer and just talking. I mean, be doing something else, right?
But that's the important part about being true to who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was born learning from my dad and my uncles, older people around me. When you see a cop, be respectful. We have an elder person, show respect. Mm-hmm. When you do this, show respect. Cool. You learn that. But there's a lot of people who don't respect you. And we've always been the people who we just take it in the chin. We don't want to lose our jobs. Oh, you did this? Why would you do that? And we're like, oh, sorry. Whatever even if it wasn't you, you're just trying not to lose your job. I told you, 27 years of kids on probation. And in my position, I worked a lot with human resources. And when there was an issue with a performance issue with the staff, right? And say this person was a black person. Well, we got to talk to so-and-so about performance. But let's have a meeting to discuss how we're going to address this with him. So we would sit down, 30, 40-minute meeting, 5 of us sometimes, discussing how we're going to approach and handle this situation. We get on the same page, we bring this person in, and we're like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Cool. We have a Latino, performance issues. Hey, we got this guy, let's talk to. Cool. Are we going to meet? No need to meet. Let's just bring him in. Why? Because they already know Latinos, for the most part, aren't going to be troublesome. We're just going to take it. Most black people are going to fight back. And I think that's what we're missing. Is we need to be like that. If we don't agree, we should feel confident in ourselves to be like, wait a minute. I didn't do that. Or that's not the way it went down. And fight back. But a lot of times we just don't
We just want to get by.
We want to get by. We don't want our supervisor not to like us.
That's that. I think we get that from our parents. Like,
that's what I was talking about.
They're just...
Because that's what, when they got here, that's what they had to do.
We're just happy to be in this country,
trying to lay low.
So, they're happy to be here. But for us, we got to act like, you know what? Let's stop apologizing for being here. Fuck that. We belong here. Right? Tell people how we feel without being disrespectful. Mm-hmm. But telling people how we feel. When I was a kid growing up, a lot of my friends were like, BET, right? Black Entertainment Television. Some of my people were like, oh, man, that's crazy. Black people are doing this. Like, crazy, right? Like, why would they do that? And that's fucked up. And my head is like, that's genius. Why don't we do something like that? Like, that's important.
Yeah,
And
we
there's so many
definitely
things
don't
that
have
black people have that I look at them and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see the connection to work together like that. We don't. We feel like we got to be apologetic about being here. That needs to change. And a lot of it is from our upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid and I played Pop Warner football, we would practice during the week, play on Saturdays. And every time we played another Latino school or city, it was pretty good games, 10-7, 14-7, whatever. Close, fun games. The minute we go play with the white school, we'll get our ass kicked. 52-10, 52-7, 52-0. And every time we would go play a white school, we were intimidated. Why? Their uniforms were brand new. They were in uniform. They all looked the same. We all looked sloppy. Our coaches are hungover from the night before. We kind of practiced. We kind of looked apart. Not them. They were on their shit. So as you get older, what do you pick up on that? White people are better than you. What do white people pick up? Latinos are less than us. And again, I'm not saying this is in every aspect of the world, right?
Yeah.
But we grew up inferior because we translate that to, man, white people are better than us. But it wasn't that. They prepared. We fucking did it. Our coach was fucking hungover. My coach was trying to pick up on somebody else's mom over there. Right?
Yeah.
It's that shit's going on.
But I think we're getting away from that right now, and I feel like there's a big shift going on to where
Definitely
the Mexican culture is like booming right now. Our food, our music, our culture, our women, like just everything is growing right now, and I feel like now we're starting to organize.
So now there's more, like I said earlier, there's much more money, much more Latinos in higher positions, right? When I call different businesses nowadays for whatever I'm doing, and I'm talking to a senior vice president, I'm talking to that, I look at the last name, Gonzalez, órale, right? Martinez, fuck. Like that wasn't like that 15 years ago, right? And now this younger generation, and I'm going to include you guys because you're younger than me, they're more hip to the technology, how things work out, right? My era, not so much. But now, there's so many kids who are 20, 25 years old who know this shit. Latinos. And I think that's the power of when I look out and I look at second, third, fourth generation, if we don't try to teach our culture, little by little it's going to fade. So it's important that our Latino kids who are growing up, and Latinos nowadays don't look like we do. That's different. My oldest look like a white boy. Like, fucking Isaiah, like, right? They just, they're different. They talk different. It's different, and it's okay. Just don't forget who you are. One of our big taglines is never forget your roots. Mm-hmm. Right? And I think that's the important part is to see more Latinos. You don't have to wear a fucking Mexican hat to make it. You don't have to be whoever the hell you are, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Just don't forget your roots.
I think that's powerful.
That's the message.
Because I had stepped away, like I had told you a little bit. But once you find that, And I feel like as kids, we're just trying to figure out who we are, right? And then we get to a place where this is where we're supposed to be, and everything starts to click thereafter, But within the golf community and what you guys are doing, what kind of impact have you been seeing that has been growing on these kids?
So with the kids,
kids in all the community.
With the kids, we're just starting the program, right? So we're hoping 2025 is going to be our first year where we have an official program. So we've been supporting some of the kids, but now that we're getting the funds, we're making partnership with some of our cities. We want to start the program. So this is going to start soon, but we're excited about that. But the biggest thing that I see is the emails, the messages through Instagram that we get from our community. Right? And I think that's the power that sometimes makes you feel like, fuck yeah, we're doing it. You know, it makes you feel proud because without that feedback, you don't know. And when we get new followers who are like, see a post or see something from the tournament, where was I at? Why didn't I know about this? When's the next one? It feels good.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you proud because our whole thing is, yeah, we want people to wear our brand and represent where we come from, right? Nike doesn't do that for you. Travis Matthew, none of that does it for you, right? And again, going back to black people, FUBU, for us, by us, right? I don't know if that's still around, but
it is. Yeah,
that's important.
Yeah,
that's important. So wearing something that represents you, I think everybody should have it, not just us, right? Respect somebody else, learn their culture because you learn so much, and I think it's amazing when we all appreciate each other. But don't be afraid of yours, right? And I know you said you stepped away for a bit, but the power of people around you telling you, mijo, it's okay. It's huge. Giving you that liberty to be who you are, right? We always, as kids especially, we used to all want to fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, us growing up, the Mexican, the Latino stuff, it definitely was not popping. It looks like now it is because we're getting those Junior H, we're getting
the Bad Bunny.
we're getting like no, but I'm talking about in our area in California, like Texas. We're just big like groups now that are Spanish music. Like they're all from the U.S. now, so like it's starting to like
that's true.
Boom, like everyone, it's cool now to be Mexican, and like you bringing it to golf is like
and I
that's
think
dope. And I think we need to get into those.
I think we all need to do that because the power, right, of us being together, right?
Build.
It's important. I remember a while back, she was in the hospital. I forgot what she was, but she was in Pasadena. It's a lot of white people, Asians, and I'm driving, and I have a music. I forgot what I'm listening to, but it's Spanish, and I had it kind of loud in my car. And I saw other Latinos that were, driving by or walking by, like, hey, like, how long ago was it? Like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Were you in the hospital in Pasadena?
Well, I was just in the hospital last year.
No, it was a little further than that. But I think it was. But people were like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, but nadie se atreve. Mm-hmm. It's like you're in your hood, you're blasting your shit, and then you go somewhere else. Oh, let me turn it down. Let me fit in. Let me figure this out. Why?
That reminds me when I was in school and, my mom or dad would come and pick me up, especially my dad, and he's blasting his Spanish music.
You fucking trying to hide.
And I'm like, damn it, like, get in the car, close the door, like, as soon as I get in the car, I turn it down. I'm like, go, and, and it was different, But it's also, I think, where I went to school is as well. Like, I grew up here in Clovis, and I know you're from LA, but, it's definitely a little bit different as well. But
and you're also a kid.
Yeah.
Right? The need to fit in is even much stronger at that point, especially if you're overwhelmed with other cultures, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it's important now that we're talking about the music that's out there. More of our younger kids are kind of getting the right to be who they are because there's more acceptance of it.
Because like a lot of our friends nowadays too, they don't even speak Spanish, but they're still bumping that music, and they're still like wanting to be a part of that culture.
We have one of our guests. He's half Mexican, half white. Uh-huh. He doesn't speak any Spanish, but he says he's always bumping Mexican music, and that's like, the culture's starting to get out. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I went to pick up my brother from high school, and there was kids with guitars, like just walking around, and they looked a part of like the Mexican band shit. So that's.
We just heard recently there's a high school out here, right, where they do a lot of the, a lot of the kids are into music, and they're playing, the Spanish music, and it's something that the school is promoting.
Yeah. They'll let them play at like rallies and like stuff.
Roosevelt.
Yeah, Roosevelt's a huge art school too.
And it's big.
That's amazing.
Culture. Yeah.
That's amazing. So we got to take those W's and keep building on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think the power of, hey, we understand this. Let's share it with other people. Because, like we've talked about earlier, a lot of other cultures do it. They work with each other. there's these guys by my house who have a little print shop. They do stickers and things like that, and they're Latino. And when I started doing what I'm doing, I'm like, let's go to them. They were things just starting, but what got me there was because they were Latino. But when I would go pick up my stickers or things like that, they were all folded upwards. They were dusty. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? So I talked to them and I'm like, hey, like, I came to your door because you're Latino. But I'm not staying here because you're Latino. Your job needs to fucking
Be presentable.
be presentable. It has to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a better job and things got better. But I could have been the guy who would have been like, oh no, I'm fucking disgusted. Like, I'm not coming back. Then they're like, well, why did he not come back? Oh, well, people do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was more important to give the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could be feedback that can help them in the future.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they did after that, right? But if that helped them, like, no, let's treat our customers better. Let's make sure we take care of their stuff better.
Yeah.
And that's
huge.
That's great because a lot of Mexicans we don't help each other out.
No.
We're always trying to bring each other down, and that's.
I think we're realizing that now, though. I feel like more people are wanting to bring up each other within the community. But so, kind of going up to that, like, what brings you to Fresno? You want to talk a little bit about that?
So we're here in Fresno today because our last tournament. Yeah. We're here in Fresno today because through the tournaments that we've been doing in LA, we've reached out to our community. We're like, where to next?
Fresno's the next place you guys are moving to from LA.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be a part.
Yeah, and the thing was, it was amazing that we've had, LA, Texas, Phoenix, Dallas, whatever, but Fresno, Central Valley kept coming up.
We got a lot of raza here, bro.
Yeah, and then we have people from up here who go down there for our tournaments. So we're like, let's go look at it. Let's go check it out. And we did our first time out in Fresno. And we got here early, and we've had a great day meeting with a lot of with Nico and some of his connections. And we start seeing that a lot of our beliefs, a lot of what we see is the same, right? And LA might be a little bit more sped up when it comes to Latinos and golf. Mm-hmm. But it's important for us to get the word out to others, like, this is business. This is, relationship building. Like, all this stuff in golf is important. We need to realize that. Come out, be great, obviously, like, do that, but it's more important just to be there. Because I've had so many connections come through it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important for us to kind of preach that to other Latinos. I'm like, hey, come try golf. It's tough, but it's not tough to have fun. It's not hard to have fun.
Oh, not at
right?
all. Yeah.
You can have that.
Yeah.
And I was intimidated when I first started. Mm-hmm. But now that I've been playing, like, it's not that bad. But it takes people to encourage others. Like, we have more Latinos playing out there, which is amazing. But we need more Latino women to pick up the sport too. Right? Most tournaments that we do, 80% male.
Oh, but you guys already have 20% women. I think even that's a...
Yeah, but they come out here and there. But I'm probably even lying about those numbers. They're probably less.
Yeah.
But right.
Yeah.
But
those aren't real statistics.
Yeah, maybe that's what we want to do by 2030.
Yeah.
Get 20%, but they're low.
Yeah.
They're low, and I think the important part for us is to bring not just the Latino male, but the Latino woman out there too, because there's a lot of power in them.
And you think you might bridge that through Fresno or what?
That's the hope. So we hope to come out here, build this tournament, get local businesses, get people like you who are movers and shakers in the city to come out, be a part of it. And we'll build an event that the people of Fresno and surrounding areas can be excited about celebrating their culture, but also feel the investment in connections and see the power of golf.
And see the inclusion, because I love how you talked about raza, not only, the Mexican raza, that's what we call it, but, we can have, we're including everybody in that because, like you said, it was predominantly, what is it? I guess Caucasian.
Yeah, I would never turn anybody away because I know how it feels like to be turned away. And who wants that?
And what kind of event are you guys having here in Fresno?
So
you want to talk a little bit about
golf
that?
tournament, we're looking at doing it in April. Hopefully the next week or two we'll know for sure. We came to some of the golf courses today and looked at them. We want to do a 16-hour event. Right? It's golf. It's music. It's some drinking, socializing. And we're expected to start at around 8 a.m. and be done around midnight. For anybody could hang that long, come out, be a part of it.
If any could hang, it's
but,
us. Yeah.
but the power of it in the last 2 years that we've had some people get a little drunk, but nothing crazy. We've had not one crazy incident in the last 2 years.
No fighting, nothing like that.
No, we had our first year. Somebody that got into it with somebody. Our people got to it quick. It was done. But people would think like, "Fuck, you're gonna put a bunch of Latinos in a fucking course drinking? That's gonna be a madness." Not at all. People were very respectful of other people. People were greeting other people. People got to know people. People already knew some people, and those relationships grew. And that's what we want to build here. You know, we want to build an event that everybody can be proud of, that people will talk about and enjoy, and after we leave, hopefully we help inspire other Latinos to continue golfing and networking.
I think if you can set some roots down in here, I think exactly what you're doing in LA, right? You can expand here into the Valley, because in the Valley, I mean, there's so many, I mean, I would say it's even over 50% Latinos here in the Valley, because we got, I mean, we're the produce capital of the world, like.
We feed like the entire world from here.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's our people working in the fields.
So that's the amazing part, right? It's like most of our people who take care of these courses, like we're already out there, right? We just got to start playing them now. And I think that's what we're trying to bring: culture and connection.
Yeah.
And with you guys, with some of Nico, some of the people that we've met out here, we have what we need to make this happen.
We'd be happy to be a part of it any way we could.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk, because I think those are the kind of things that we need, right? And everything takes people and effort. And you guys have the beat of Fresno, right? We want to come here as guests, but feel like this is our home too.
You guys are definitely welcome here.
That's the power. And like I said, you guys got any business in LA where you guys are doing your stuff? Hey, you know what? I got LA connections. Let me go talk to Ruben. Or we're coming up here. Hey, we got some stuff in Fresno. Hey, we got David, we got Mike, we got Nico. Let's go. And the biggest thing is people getting to know each other. Because the minute we know each other and we hang out, you're like, nah, that motherfucker's cool. I got him. Without that, like, I don't know, dog, because you don't want to just want to share people with
anybody.
Yeah, because it could screw you. And I get that. But same thing with us. Somebody comes to me and says, hey, do you know somebody who does this? Yeah, I got my boy. He's really good, bro. Like, check him out, blah, blah. Or, hey, you got somebody who does this? Yeah, but he's a little shady, bro. But it's on you, dog, if you want to try it. But being honest about
that sort of things.
That sort of stuff, right? It's important. Because your word is on the line every time you refer someone. And if you pretty much tell everybody, oh, no, he's a good person, you're fucking lying at one point. Right? So it's important to have your word. It's important to make sure that the people you're trying to elevate are people that are proven to you. And those that haven't, that you're teaching them. Like, hey, bro, let me get in there with you. Like, nah, fucker, you don't come through, dog. Your timing is bad. You don't do this. You don't do that. Teach them so hopefully they learn. And once they're in that position, then things can change. But there's power in teaching as well. And a lot of times we don't do that. We're like, oh, I'm not going to fuck with that fool no more. And we didn't even tell them why. That sucks.
But yeah, some people need that. Sometimes people need
How many
to
times
say, like,
have we fucked up in life?
Yeah.
That if people didn't tell us why, we wouldn't have learned. So the power is important for us, especially when you are an expert in a certain field or have a lot of experience in a field. Show somebody else. Don't just say that dude sucks. Show him. That's what elevates our people. A lot of times we don't look at elevating each other.
Yeah, I think growing up in the like how we grew up as Raza as Mexicans, we kind of bring those habits up, but we need to change that. We need to help each other for sure.
And it's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And it might as well start with us.
Yeah, everyone says, "Why should I do it?" And it's dope that you didn't say that. You said, "I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna start it."
You know what my view was? People tell me, "Nah, some Latinos are chisty. They're this or that." You know what? You're right. You're right. But we ain't the only ones. There's good Latinos. There's bad Latinos. There's good black people. There's bad black people. There's good white people. There's bad white people. Everyone has it. Our job is to be able to find the people who are good and focus on them and work with them.
I know you had said like kind of why you started all this, but if you can sum it up onto why you started this movement, right? Because it's a movement,
Yeah.
right? And then my follow-up question to that would be, what's bigger than that, right? What would you say is your why? Because you were working with
Kids on probation.
kids on probation, and like, was there something that made you think I want more? Was it just solely on the movement? Was it your family? Or maybe answer that first. What's your why? What do you think drives you?
So there's a couple of things. So number one is what I told you. I tried to join a men's club, and they were like, "No." I started my own. Right. I wanted to start my own clothing company because I wanted to represent me. I had no ways, but I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. I started meeting kids. I'm trying to figure out how we can do it. A lot of the programs that I felt weren't doing it right. Let me do my own. I found that in me, like when something I don't like, there's power that I can do something about it. And I think it's important for all of us to find that in ourselves, right? So many times we look for, oh, I just need this guy to help me. Oh, I just need someone's support. It'll be great. But sometimes you got to fucking get it started yourself. Yeah. Right? So I think that became part of what we want to help people with, understand. Like, that's part of our why. Like, take a chance on you. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that we've made it, but I enjoy my life right now. That's a big difference. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm meeting great people. I have sometimes, I have more flexibility to do what I want to do with my family than I ever had before. How many of us feel like we're slaves to our jobs? Or have a talent, but we're afraid to jump on it because we need that safety and security of that paycheck. And what I want to do is connect our people to teach them that we need each other to be powerful. And through golf as a vehicle, it can get done.
I think that a lot of people want to do big things and they want to move out of their situation. And I know I was one of those people for a really long time. And I would say I'm not, where I want to be exactly.
Right.
But a lot started changing for me when I got out of my comfort zone and I stopped waiting for somebody to come and save me. Yeah. I thought, the homie makes it out. And I feel like that's why a lot of people have that mentality. It's like, the homie makes it out, and you expect them to take, like you with them, and it's waiting for that, and it's waiting for something. But things really started changing for me in my life once I started, like, showing up for myself, and I took things into my own hands and took that responsibility.
And that's the power, right? And the power comes with also you seeing people around you who are being successful. Mm-hmm. You're like, damn, that fool's doing it over there.
You don't want to get left behind.
That guy's doing it. You know what? What do they have in common? Like, let me pick that skill up.
They say your net worth is your net worth.
Yeah.
That's
and it translates.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's the piece that we all have to look at, right? Is like, how can I better myself? Financially, emotionally, physically, whatever. Like,
you got to elevate to bring that value, to provide.
right? But you got to take chances. Mm-hmm. And the more people you have around you supporting you, the better it is, right? We grew up also from a place to where you started your business, and we're just starting, and a lot of people are like, "Hey, bro, hook me up with that cap. Hey, hook me up with this. Hook me up with that." And before our business, we were kind of like that, right? We had a new friend who started something. Hey, wait, you okay? Dame algo.
Give me a discount.
Yeah, right?
Right.
And then we started our business and like, shit, this is a lot of fucking work. This is expensive.
You can't give those discounts
And then
out,
people are like, hey, like, hook me up. And we're like, hey, I can't. Like, and now when we see other business, we're like, no, we're paying you because we understand.
You got to support. And it's giving
it's
that
the support. We're going to go out there and buy fucking Jordans for $150, $200 for somebody who we don't even fucking know. We're not going to see a dime back in our community for that, possibly. But you got a friend who started a new brand.
And you don't want to support them.
And you don't want to support. I'm not saying you got to buy shit every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
But support.
Mm-hmm.
Show up.
Exactly.
Because when you do something, you want those people behind you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like now we go to different tournaments, we meet people, and they're like, we met these guys who do their own protein, right? Mm-hmm. Protein bars or things.
Protein powders, yeah.
So it's called iWhey. Like whey protein, but iWhey, right? So I'm like, hey, yeah, let me get some of that, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, just take it, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, let me show you some of my mistakes. You want to give your stuff away, but if you're not in a place to do that, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. When you give stuff away, obviously, you have to look at your ROI, your return on investment, right? There might be some people you need to give stuff away, cool. But for your homie, he should be backing you up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. He should be behind you, like, hey, bro, like, I like that. Let me get that.
Yeah.
But in our culture, a lot of them are like, hey, wait, what's a discount? And how much can I get that for? People you don't even know you met. Oh, I like one. Can you get me one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could, but I won't because you're trying to figure shit out.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, you're not in that position. If you are in that position, 100%.
If I'm already having money here, fucker, have 10 of these, have this, have that. But
when you're trying to lift it off the ground, there's no room for that.
So it's important to have people behind you who understand that, and that word gets spread, because all of that is just teaching. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to be dicks to you. They're not trying to be like, that's all we know. Mm-hmm. So until you start telling them, hey, fucker, why don't you support me better?
Yeah.
You're right, dick. All right, here you go. Right?
Yeah.
It's not malicious. It's just what we know. We always look for the discount. We always look for the hookup, the plug, whatever. Mm-hmm. But we don't stop and think about it the other way until we're in that position ourselves.
Yeah. Can you give us a story maybe about one of the most difficult times throughout this journey for you?
I think one of the difficult things has been.
Did you take a leap of faith, leaving your job to do this?
Yeah. I think one of the difficult things is believing in yourself. That's where it's at. Because you're encountering so many things that you never did before. The safety net that you had always in your life is gone. And I think that, like, even with my wife sometimes, like, figuring shit out. Because we're in a new world, right? Before it's like, hey, working 9 to 5, you got your paycheck, you're good. You're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're good.
You're making it.
But is that living? Is it worth 3-4 years of hard work and building something and then being on the other side of it? It's worth it for me. Mm-hmm. Because that could be legacy building. I'm living for something. I'm pushing something. I feel alive. And when you work for someone and you come home and all you have going for you is, I come home and let me watch the football game or the basketball game, have a couple of beers, go to a carne asada on Saturday, prepare back to work, and just keep that cycle. Mm-hmm. What is that? Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm not saying it's wrong for everyone, but there's so many skills and dreams in our community that don't even get started because we're afraid and we don't know where to start. But it takes you taking a chance on you.
were there a moment where you thought, what did I get myself into?
There still are, brother.
Can you tell us about one of them?
we're not in a position to where like, oh shit, we made it. It's still a daily thing that you work through because you want to keep yourself well for the rest of your life, right? You want to take care of your wife. You want to take care of your kids. And when you're doing this, there's a lot of great days where things are like super awesome and positive, and there's some days where you're like, fuck, is this really gonna work? Should we stop now? It looks dim in the future. Like, let's just cut it now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, nah, fuck it. We can probably go a little longer. Let's keep pushing it. Mm-hmm. It's the reality. It's the push that we live. And we keep it because we're excited. We feel like we're doing good for our people. We want to continue building this and seeing our people elevated. But it comes with its tough days.
And
it comes with its moments.
How important do you think it is having the right partner, the right wife, the right,
It's everything. Because sometimes you're out there every day trying to figure shit out, connect, build. What's the next step? What are we doing? And then not being a business person to begin with, learning all these different tasks and things that got to get done. It's hard. But when you got a home to come to where there's peace, when support is there, it makes it all worth it. Mm-hmm. It makes it all worth it. It helps you push. And that's hard. A lot of couples are going through it, and then you get home and you're constantly at each other. There's no peace. It just continues to go, and that can drive somebody crazy. But for me, like now, I'll be in the office. I'll be out in the field doing different stuff. I get home about 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I get home. My kids are home. They're chill. They're doing their homework. My wife is good. She's taking care of the house. I feel welcome. I'll go eat. I watch the novela. It's good. You have a great sleep because of it. Not that you're worry free, but you get those 3-4 hours at night to kind of just not think about it.
Bring it down.
Recharge. Refocus. Mm-hmm. That's important.
Yeah. And is it great sharing those highlights? Moment, can you give us some of the highlights about this, like throughout the time that maybe you got to share with your partner?
Yeah, I think for example, when we do these tournaments or we get some sales online or we get new people who are reaching out to us to be like, I love this. I love what you're doing. Keep it up. We'll talk sometimes about like, hey, like we met some people who want to connect, who want to build with us. And those are proud moments for us. Even now that our kids are getting older, they wear the gear here and there. They all go golfing with us, and we don't try to push it on them. They have their likes and their life that's going on, but it's cool to see that they're seeing us doing this entrepreneur stuff and trying to figure it out, and hopefully it helps them take chances, right? Like they're going to school, they're doing well, but to see, we always talk about we are their role models in many different ways. I tell her sometimes, don't fucking yell at me crazy, because your kids are going to see this and they're going to go out and think it's okay to get a fucking girlfriend or a wife that yells at them all the fucking time. So she don't yell at me all the time, but I try to use that to my advantage, right? But it's important, right? It's important. It's how you view your spouse and how you treat her and how she treats you is what the kids learn. And whatever that is, it's going to be normal for them. It'll be normalized. If you grew up in a household, and I'm not saying it's okay, I have my own beliefs. I think I'm a traditionalist when it comes to gender roles and things like that. Mm-hmm. But whatever every relationship is, you have to look at every day you're exposing your kids to that behavior. And are you okay with your kids learning that? You can't tell your kids, don't do what I do. It's not going to work. They're going to feel whatever you do is normalized. And thank God with me and my wife, she's great to all of us. She keeps us all in check, and she's motherly. And when we're home, she's the glue. She's the connection, right? Because guys, we're a little bit different. It's three. I got three boys, myself and her, right? So she's outnumbered, but really she's the connection. And she's got crazy days, and she's fucking tired of feeding us and all the fucking food that these motherfuckers eat every day. But she's the connection, and I think they see that, and hopefully, when they're picking their partners, they're looking for some of the things their moms brought, some of the peace the mom brought. That's important.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. They say, look at, behind every great man is an even better woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy. Mikey could go on all day about marriage. Like, he loves this
I love
topic.
asking that question.
Mikey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we're at an hour mark. I think we're already past the hour mark. I think we should just...
anything you want to...
what you're here to promote?
No, so I just want to say we're looking at April to be our Raza Golf tournament Fresno style, right? Our first one out here. And we want to encourage anybody who's seeing this, anybody in your guys' network connections, city of Fresno, surrounding areas, Fresno County, to come out and have themselves what we call a great day for culture and connection. It's an event that will be a 16-hour event that with your ticket, your alcohol, your food, all that will be included. But we want our people to come out and learn the power of connecting through golf. And that's what we're going to start working on for the next 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, to keep finding the people here in Fresno who are business owners, small business owners to come out, promote their business, because that's key. That's important. And get some of the bigger businesses to come out and sponsor, and trying to get people to come out who already play golf, who try to come out and just have fun and learn it, or just come out and be a spectator and be around your culture for a day.
Yeah.
We got a lot of we have a few connections to, like, we could get some taco trucks. We could definitely get some businesses. I know a few businesses out here. Nico would probably help out a lot with that.
Yeah. Nico's fucking Rolodex is crazy.
Man, I'm kind of like bummed out. It's so far away because you were talking about it. And I'm like, bro, I can't wait for the event. Any way we can help, or be a part of it.
So
I mean,
definitely, obviously, through this is amazing, right? Promoting it this way and trying to pitch it to our people, because a lot of them want to take a chance on it. But our last tournament, like I told you, we sold out in 6 days. That was like in April. So we're like, fuck, like we're already sold out. We got like 4 months to go before this starts. So there was like definitely a dead space. But one thing that we try to do, especially when we did it in LA last year, and we want to do here this year, when we get our sponsors and people who come out and take a chance and give to us, we want to give you a great time. But we also know that sponsors sometimes they don't get taken care of properly. Like, hey, I'll put a sign up on the lawn. Thank you for donating. That's it. But it's more to that. We got to find out what these businesses need, what's important to them. And one thing that we did in LA, and we want to do it here, is when we get most of our sponsors, is for us to invite them out to a night of connection before the event. Whether it's Top Golf in Madera you were talking about.
Yeah, it's like it's a shooting range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did it out there.
It's something like Top Golf.
Okay, so we did it out there in LA. But the importance of getting all these business owners who become sponsors and putting them all together and bringing them all together, a night of meeting each other. We did it in LA where we all got in a circle and we all introduced ourselves and talked about our struggles, obstacles. It was a powerful, powerful meeting. And I'm like, shit, this was amazing. And a lot of the people who were there were like, now they do business with each other. Right? I know they're working, they're connecting. I'm like, I'm glad I was able to connect it because in business, that's important.
That connection building, I feel like when you are vulnerable,
Yeah.
that's when you build the
Yeah.
strongest connections.
Because now your money, you sponsor something, right? You got your name out there. But more than that, you made real connections. Like I told you, you guys are out here in Fresno, right? You guys might know 15% of the people who are movers, shakers, business people out here. But we can put this tournament together who brings other people that you guys don't know. Then we leave, and now you went from 50% to 30% to 40%. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And that's what these events do. Mm-hmm. We're looking at down the road because people have been asking us for this. We're not sure how we would do it, but asking for a retreat or a day to get all these business owners together for a day of connection. And if we do something like that, it'll be great to get like, hey, you know what? We're gonna do it in, I don't know, Palm Springs, 6 months from now. You guys from Fresno, LA, wherever you're from, come down there. Let's connect. Mm-hmm. That could be a great day for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. So there's all that power. There's all those expectations that we can meet through this. So we're excited to bring that and again to build with Fresno.
Mm-hmm. We're excited.
We're excited, man.
We're barely hearing about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I don't know if you guys got a chance to see some of our videos.
We did.
From our tournaments. It's a blast.
It looked like it.
It's a blast. People have a great time. People feel like not only they get their money's worth, but there's the connection that has no value.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, man. Well, thank you for sharing, and I'm definitely excited.
I'm excited. I'm not showing it, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait.
No, thank you guys. Really
Nico,
appreciate it.
Anything you wanna hop in at all, or talk about, or drop anything?
No, I just wanna thank you for the opportunity to talk about this type of events and supporting the Raza. I think if we support each other, we can make big things and we can make big changes in the community and within our business also.
Well, thank you for connecting us, man. This has been amazing, and dude, I'm looking forward to hopefully connecting more and looking forward to making out to the event.
For sure, we plan hopefully to come out here in January.
Okay.
Just to kind of retouch things after the holidays or whatever, and maybe at that time we can reconnect.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can talk more, through phone or Zoom or whatever.
Anything you need, reach out to us.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we'll get connected, get our numbers. And everything.
No, thank you. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity, for having us here today, for opening your doors. We think that in itself is amazing and powerful. So, so thank you guys for that.
Well, let's keep crushing it, man.
Let's go.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Man, amazing pod today, and let's keep crushing it, man. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Awesome,
thank you guys.
Bro, thank you so much, man. That was great, man.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
That was dope.